Oh boy. Just rolling along here. Nothing like live radio to get you started here. Simply Butch is here. That means another edition of Butch On Sports you have had in here. Hopefully you're having a great day on a Tuesday. Very hot and muggy, although they say a cold front is coming through. I believe it when I feel it. Okay, I believe it when I feel it. However, again, I'm glad to be with you with another edition of Butch On Sports. And as always, thanks for tuning in, boys and girls here. We'll talk about some sports news that you can't get enough of. Let's get into the progress of some sports news here. First and foremost here, while we're speaking around about after 9 o'clock in the hour, p.m. of course there, Minnesota's leading the Detroit Tigers by a score of 3-0 right now here. And that's in the 7th inning. We'll keep you abreast of that particular score and all the other goodies that's really going on right now here with this particular ordeal down at Comerica Park. This is the last week of baseball, boys and girls, for the Detroit Tigers at home. So be there or be square, and you'll say, well, I got my year's full of Tiger baseball. I'm going down there this weekend to kind of bid everybody will do, and you know, some pleasantries and stuff like that there. So again, I do encourage you going down there to Tiger Stadium or Comerica Park, as I call it, and get your fill of the Detroit Tigers, the 2018 edition. We'll give you some more additional information on Detroit Tigers later on in the show there. In the meanwhile, Detroit Lions, let's talk about them. They lost a goodie from the San Francisco 49ers, a score of 30-27. It was paramount in a way that the Lions showed that they can come back, but they've been doing that for the last 4 years, coming back only to lose a game. You know, if this team can get ahead of itself, come out there swinging, come out there aggressive, come out there not making mistakes, come out there not giving up penalties, and childish penalties at that. These are penalties that they should learn fundamentally not to have in high school, in junior high school, in Pee Wee League football. But again, the Detroit Lions make them, and they make them just, it makes people sick. And again, beer sales are going up as we speak, boys and girls. I tell you. But again, San Francisco did beat Detroit Lions by a score of 30-27. And the 49ers kind of meant they played like crap down the stretch. That's what Richard Sherman said here. And they should be a good lesson for our young team that they need it. It's a humbling lesson. Thank goodness they got the win. But again, for the Detroit Lions, they are 0-2. And what brought that on, boys and girls? You expect good things when you bring in a coach and a different philosophy, but it always doesn't go that way because you got to make adjustments. You see things that the coach don't see, but of course, you're not the coach. So again, what you see don't count. Oh well, I beg to differ. What I see do count. What I see is veteran players who are living fat off the land and getting a very good paycheck indeed, and not coming out the game ready, fired up, ready to go. That is the coaching job's responsibility to have these players ready to go. If they cannot be ready to go and come out there with a flame and a fire of coming in the game, not making mistakes, and above all, this is the most important part I look at the whole situation is being aggressive. You know, it doesn't cost you anything to be aggressive. It costs you a touchdown maybe, but being aggressive is better than not being aggressive at all. And the Detroit Lions don't do that. They play man for man and hold and grab and like Vince Lombardi said, you grab. You're not tackling. And that's what we see. I said at the beginning of the season, The Detroit Lions season will be very good if their backfield, offensively and defensively, improve 110%. When I say the backfield, that means cornerbacks and safety doing a better job and being a lot more aggressive from the beginning of the game. Not playing a zone, but coming up there, busting somebody in the mouth. I mean, the whole game changed. I hate to say it. Well, when LeGarrette Blount came off the bench to knock down a San Francisco 49er player from tackling his quarterback. Well, by the way, the tackle was legal for the 49er player. But Garrett LeBlanc wasn't having none of it at all. He got aggressive and knocked someone down, got a 15-yard penalty, and also got ejected from the game. I don't know if that spurred the Detroit Lions up or not, but they seemed to score points after that particular moment. Whatever it took. And that's what kind of leadership you need. He shouldn't have to take a 15-yard penalty or put his team in jeopardy that way, because LeGarrette Blount is an important cog for the Detroit Lions. Physically, mentally, spiritually. And I hope more of that goes in LeGarrette Blount so he can get this team motivated to come out there and be an aggressive, good team. Detroit has some talent. I don't think the coaching staff are demanding them to play ball. Sometimes your demand is maybe kicking somebody off the team or letting them know that you are replaceable. And that's all I'm going to say. The Detroit Lions will get ready and get set starting tomorrow, Wednesday, to get ready for the New England Patriots. This is where Matt Patricia came from. That ought to be a good one. New England ain't looking too doggone jolly either after getting their rear end kicked from Jacksonville on the road. So believe me, they're going to have something to gain from this whole particular picture too. It is on Sunday night. It is on starting at 8:20 kickoff. It is on at Ford Field. It is on so you can get it on and get off, because again, the Lions need a win. Let's see how aggressive they're going to be on national TV. Period. By the way, the ratings on Monday Night Football was lowest ratings they had in a very long time. I don't know if it's because of Monday Night Raw. I don't know because the Emmys were on last night, which I didn't watch, and I never watch them. And, you know, it would be better for me to be there in person. Until that happens, I won't be watching the crap. However, ESPN's doubleheader the week before wasn't selling any doggone viewers either. So either ESPN got to get it together or leave it alone. I don't know what's the deal on why people don't watch Monday night. Maybe it's because there's so much you can do on Monday night, including get some rest or get ready for work. Maybe some philosophy's got to be changed on Monday Night Football. Who knows? But they're not suffering on Sunday. NBC is not suffering with all. Their viewership is up. Let's see how the viewership is when the Detroit Lions play the New England Patriots on Sunday Night Football. Let's see how that goes. I'm quite sure they'll have a report on it pretty doggone soon. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, indeed. The Emmys. Anything is possible here. You know, one of the big conversations was today, and I'm going to elaborate on a whole heck of a lot of this, was the Pro Football Hall of Famers are seeking health insurance, and it's a great possibility if they don't get their way with the NFL they may boycott future ceremonies of the Hall of Fame. I mean, Terrell Owens had his way of doing business, and you got to tip your hat off to him for having the guts. But it only takes one to set precedents that how good the NFL. And you know what? There's a lot of people who are just very upset. Now, the NFL Hall of Famers are threatening a boycott of future ceremonies. Now, that's a dozen of the greatest players in NFL history put their name on the dotted line today about the Pro Football Hall of Fame ceremonies. And unless they provide them some decent health insurance and maybe an annual salary, they're going to be pretty doggone upset, and they're willing to not show up for this particular ceremony where almost everybody and everybody shows up. Of course, this year, Terrell Owens did not show up, and he was one of the doggone masters of ceremonies of getting his green jacket. So they sent it to him at his old college, Tennessee Chattanooga, and he had at it there, and it was a beautiful speech of Terrell Owens for real. If you didn't catch that, it's on probably YouTube or U4, whatever it may be. Take a look at it. He has some outstanding points made. Everything ain't traditional no more. Yes, they sent a letter to the NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, the Players Association Executive Director DeMaurice Smith, and the President of Pro Football Hall of Famer C. David Barker. Multiple players led by Eric Dickerson, the President of the newly created Hall of Fame Board, laid out their case for continuing support from the league. This is what they had to say. We, the undersigned Pro Football Hall of Famers, were integral to create the modern NFL, which in 2017 generated $14 billion in revenue. The letter began that way. But when the league enshrined us as the greatest ever to play the American game, most popular sport, they gave us a gold jacket, a bus. A bus is that little little statue, and also a ring. That was it. The group, we are struggling with several severe health and financial problems, and they're saying a lot of their past players are having that particular problem, financially and health-wise. To build this game up, we sacrifice our body. In many cases, and despite the fact that we were led to believe otherwise, we sacrifice our minds. Oh boy. The players note that the health insurance for every Hall of Famer would cost more, or that the actual cost would be $4 million a year. That is less than the cost of a 30-second Super Bowl ad, or about 3 cents for every $100 in revenue. The annual salary would cost 40 cents for every $100 in revenue. They also pointed out that Goodell's own salary is $40 million a year. $40 million a year, Mr. President. Who's involved in this possible boycott? I ask you. So I looked it up. These are the names I'm just bringing it out. Besides Dickerson, who put their name on the dotted line. The signees include Marcus Allen, Mel Blount, Derek Brooks, Jim Brown, Earl Campbell, Richard Dent, Carl Eller, Marshall Faulk, Mike Haynes, Ricky Jackson, Ronnie Lott, Curtis Martin, Joe Namath, John Randall, Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders, Bruce Smith, Jackie Smith, Lawrence Taylor, Kurt Warner, and Sarah White. She is the widow of the late Reggie White. Yes, they need health insurance too, those wives and kids. The players indicated unless their demands are met, they will boycott the Hall of Fame annual induction ceremony, given the fact that the NFL will celebrate its 100th anniversary in 2020. That's a couple of years from now. So they have gotten their walking paper, the NFL, and I'm quite sure they're going to have some huge discussions on making sure that the veteran players, as well as those Hall of Famers, are taken care of somewhat better financially. Yes, the players right now presently are having a beef with some of the things that are being done in the NFL. But the NFL is a rich conglomerate. And some of the things that they need to get involved in, they have not done. It's a shame, as the old saying goes, it's a shame that things have to be this way. Where people have to go up there and make a threat or do something absolutely not fitting to the crime or the particular incident itself. They get attention to certain things. Colin Kaepernick, I'm going to have to mention that as well, as Nike is a huge contributor to the NFL. Use them as a poster man or poster boy, whatever you prefer to use, of higher standings, not only in the NFL, but in life itself, and some of the things that go on in life that people applaud or not to, or say this or that and the other. Well, it's food for thought. It's food for thought indeed. Many are not watching the NFL or taking part. They're taking more time with their children, which I agree. And I take a lot more time with my kids too. That football game is on TV. You can tape it. You can do a whole heck of a lot of other things to watch that football game. It is not important. You got to see it at the point in time of that particular game come on there. That is not life's blood when it comes down to our children needing our attention more than the NFL and some of the standards are being raised. And I believe this too also. The NFL is not responsible for the change of attitude and the change of some of the things that go down. It would be nice if Roger Goodell would stand up to Donald Trump and say, shut the Ricky Dicky up. But he doesn't. So you can't get mad at him. Only thing you can do is try to contain it. Everybody thinks they have the solution. But it's not that easy. Believe me, it's not that easy. Let's move on, boys and girls here. Hell in the Cell. Did you watch that? Oh, boy. I'm watching right now SmackDown here. And it's really getting down to the point is the WWE is trying to make some huge money here. They're going to make some huge money with the Super Showdown in Melbourne, Australia, upcoming October the 6th. The evolution of women in the WWE, that's going to be upcoming on October the 28th, that particular pay-per-view. Then they just announced that the crown jewels await. In Saudi Arabia, Universe Champion Roman Reigns is going to open it up here and take on two other opponents. Yes, we got plenty of time to talk about those particular situations, but I tell you right now, it's going to get funky. And by the way, if I have not told you before, I'll kind of repeat myself again. During the Christmas holiday, Monday Night Raw is going to be in the Motor City. It's going to be at Little Caesars Arena. And what they're going to do is they're going to do, instead of a Monday Night Raw, they're going to do a Friday night version of Monday Night Raw on December the 28th. But I do believe if you count the days, there'll be Saturday the 29th and December 30th. And then you count the 31st, which is on a Monday, which is New Year's Eve. Okay, well, you get my drift. So they're going to do that a little bit ahead of time there. Give those wrestlers some time off, some well-deserved time off with their families and friends on that particular day. And they'll move on to probably SmackDown, which will be on that Tuesday, wherever it may be. Or maybe they'll do it on the Saturday, too. Who knows? But whatever words that we get about it and that we can give you, we'll get it to you as quickly as possible. A lot of stuff's happening this week. The Red Wings are home. And they're going to have practice tomorrow at Joe Louis Arena. Yes, Wednesday. Practice. Practice. We'll deal with that pretty soon. And next Monday, they will kind of put the boards over the ice, and they'll set up everything because, again, it will be practice for the Detroit Pistons. They'll have media day on next Monday. So, yes, hockey. And by the way, this week, starting Thursday, boys and girls. No, Wednesday. Wednesday will be an exhibition game, and also Thursday an exhibition game. I do believe Pittsburgh and maybe Boston. I'm not sure, but in those two, it'll be 2 days. 2 days of goodies. Wednesday and Thursday. Before they go on the road on the weekend. So, yes, hockey, exhibition hockey this week. Yours truly is trying to get down there and get some interviews that you can't get enough of. And, of course, I will do my very best to answer all those questions that you would like to know. Like, will the Red Wings be a better team this year and make the playoffs? Will the Detroit Pistons be a better team this year and make the playoffs? Yes, playoffs. Playoffs, boys and girls. Whatever it is, it's got to mean something here. It's got to mean something to the Pack. And I'm not mad with anybody. I'm just telling you from where it is. I'd like to thank those kids from yesterday, on Monday, from Franklin Middle School. I took some time out with them, explained my job as a journalist, how exciting it is. They had a whole heck of a lot of questions. I won't tell you the others instead on the show, the game, sports show here, you know. You have to listen to that to find out, especially the podcast version of it. But, again, maybe at the end of the week we'll talk about it. Hey, I tell you, I'm done. I'm out of here. And right now, at this point in time, I'm just going to say that the Detroit Tigers are still playing right now, and it's 3-0. Minnesota's still leading. I'm not going to mess it on now. You can listen to Butch On Sports on, yes, Butch On Sports. Go to Podomatic.com, SIMPLYBUTCH at Podomatic.com. Soon to come on the game show. They will have a slot there that says Butch On Sports, or maybe the game Butch On Sports. I don't know. But they're going to have a slot there ready. In the meanwhile, you go to Popbean. Popbean.ButchOnSports.com, or you can go to you can definitely go to, Facebook. Go to Facebook and Butch On Sports. Type that on in there. You can also go to iTunes and check that out as well. Yes, we're watching the Detroit Tigers as we speak here. And Michael Matthews is on base. And I don't see a scoreboard, but I see, yes, it has changed to Minnesota 5, Detroit 2. And a man on third base. Hey, Butch On Sports is a presentation of Oh My Darling Productions. Yes, check me out. We're going to do this again after the Red Wing game on Thursday. Okay? After the Red Wing game on Thursday. So Beware or be square, okay? Butch On Sports is a presentation, once again, of Oh My Darling Productions. Have at it, boys and girls, and have a great night here.